Today may be Nas and Radosin's birthdays, but for one of these teams, their run to the Birmingham Major is truly about to be born. Best of 7, Stumpy. Winner makes top 4. Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Gentlemates.
Very intrigued as well to see how this is going to go, because I reckon this is going to be setting the tempo for the rest of the season. If then we see Gentlemates take down NIP pretty handily, they're now going to worry then when they come to face them. Will they then have the further repercussions and also, get back the other way? We've obviously been able to watch the NIP boys a little bit more after being on their team stream on our channel. But ultimately, Gentlemates didn't show up yesterday when I think we all expected a little bit of a bigger fight versus Vitality.
It was mainly their shooting. They had their opportunities and they had their chances. And against a team like Vitality, there's no shame in that. But when they came, was the finishing as good as it needed to be? If they can fix that here against Ninja in Pyjamas, there is no reason that Radosin can't have a very happy birthday, as I hope both he and Nas do, no matter what happens today.
First 30 seconds, decent chances, rather decent pressure, both sides. Very, very pokey. We've been playing a little bit of Rocket League ourselves today, and already, Cole, I can see a huge difference in the gameplay. I don't want to say it's like, watching Prime me, but that's what it kind of feels like.
I can see a huge difference in Seiko's car because, my goodness, that thing is giving me a headache, and I love and respect him for it. That is as yellow as you can possibly get against Ninja in Pyjamas as well, the team that I'd normally associate with that colour. So, I don't know, maybe some mind games there from Seiko. And I see what you were getting at, Stumpy. Hey, next time, I'll get at least 5 goals, all right?
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Captain, that's all I need. NIP, when you look at the quality of their opponents they've faced so far, they didn't manage to take down Vitality even slightly. I said that was my biggest worry with them, is that when they faced the big team, they really couldn't do it. GK are sort of like an entry big team. Lovely touch from Nas. Decent chance for him, but the double save can keep it away. Whereas, then when you look over towards Gentlemates, they also, managed to then go around through, not quite making it through Calming Corp, and then on the other side of things, they then obviously didn't manage to beat Vitality. So quite a similar run on both sides, and a good drop down finds Nas. They managed to get the opener.
It is the birthday boy Nas who gets the first one going, and it was Itachi, the former Gentlemate, who did all the work. He gets the aerial play, he gets the dunk straight down, and Nas was waiting. Already these Moroccans, they've been playing together now since the FIFA World Cup. And they're only now not only now, but even though their duoship started fantastically, it continues to improve.
It's nice seeing players, I think, generally, when they stop playing against their old teams, it's nice to see them then go and excel when they are then playing against them on different teams. It's nice that it's not sort of that one-and-done situation. Itachi, he was very much a Gentlemate through and through. Radosin coming in now for him, and Nas pushing over against Radosin. Beats 1, beats 2, bumps the third. Itachi in, no double for him. The work done by Nas could not be finished by Itachi.
It's got a lovely goal earlier from the ceiling, as there's a double commit there between Seiko and Juicy. Been playing together quite a while now. You shouldn't expect to see that too often between these two. Coming, of course, in all French with their new French teammate Radosin. But Itachi's able to slow it down. Ninja in Pyjamas have this lead. Oski's alone is going to get demoed. It's going to be a goal for Radosin. And happy birthdays all round. It's 1 each for him.
Seeing Oski here, he slows down massively on that ball where he does like a 3-point turn, takes it slow. Juicy, great vision from him, can completely wipe him out. And it's a tap in for Rado. Birthday goal for him. And as far as I know, and I asked D-Rec this, we don't know if there has been an RLCS main event series where 2 birthdays have played each other. So it feels like it's probably pretty rare, but maybe it's a record. We don't know.
Did both birthday players open the scoring with the 2 goals before? It's Radosin. This is ridiculous. Someone blow those candles out.
Rado with his second. Obviously, Nas didn't manage to get the last one, did he? Was that Nas's goal? Oh, it was Nas's goal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man.
The 1-on-1. Goes straight with Oski. Never getting a touch on it. And yeah, 2 for Rado.
From Gentlemates, I think they are not quite as highly regarded coming into the season as Ninja in Pyjamas are, but were they highly regarded last season, Stumpy, and did they care? The answer to the first one was no. The answer to the second one was no, and here is Seiko, the former world champion, 3-1.
It's a runaway here too. It was Juicy, a complete outplay, gets the flick high, and it was Rado getting the bump on a player as well, opens it up entirely. Gentlemates seem so much like their usual selves already.
To vibe with Radosin, and there is a little bit less control to their game than there was this time last season, and I say that as a very positive thing. I think towards the season as it went on, and they just slowly but surely started to be not overtaken but able to be beaten, it's because they didn't have that extra element. Radosin is beginning to bring that to them. So we'll see how it fares. It can, of course, swing the other way, and Ninja in Pyjamas are going to be doing their very best to make it happen. So that's a couple of touches, takes out Juicy. Seiko's already there, and Oski booms it. Flip reset into the center, and into the Pajamas trying to get something going, and suddenly Stumpy, 1 minute 35 seconds left. They're, just having to keep half an eye on the clock.
I think it's going to then ultimately get a lot harder to bring anything back because Gentlemates are pushing as hard as they can. Pretty much every angle. The 1-2 central. Tachi on target. Seiko can tap it away into the corner with 80 boost. Rado, very strong challenge from him. And again, Itachi does beat him on that, but Seiko can clear it nice and long. And it suddenly ticks down to only 70 seconds remaining and 2 to chase.
Dancer up against Seiko, he beats him. Radosin tries to get the save, does use of all of his boost. He had pretty much nothing. That was stunning defensive from Radosin, and then the composure to get the bump. It's brilliant defending from the big Frenchman.
And a touchdown from Seiko as well. Tries to work around Nas. Does so. Juicy's there for the next one. Bumps Itachi, or attempts to. Bursts it up for the next one. Oski comes in, removes Rado from the pitch. Great play from NIP to defensively stay in this game somewhat. 45 seconds left for them to get anything. A lovely touch from Oski. 1-2. Straight back down. It's near target, and the touch from Nas is unable to happen. Itachi forced back on defense.
Those from Oski, but Gentlemates show that when it comes down to it, they've still got those defensive skills in their back pockets. Such a hard team to get past last season, and Radosin, he seems to be following them along this season. He completes his hat-trick. What a game from Rado.
Completes his hat-trick, has a hat-trick of saves as well, and only 3 shots. Shooting 100% on the big 21st birthday. You cannot ask for much more than that, apart from winning literally the entire thing.
That'd be nice, I'm sure. There's a long way to go for that. There's still Carmine Corp waiting for the winner of this matchup in the semi-finals, so beating them would be even nicer. But 4-1 in game number 1 after going behind as well. It's pretty much been a perfect Radosin game. You know, he's come out from under the rock at the right time, done his Radosin stuff, and then defended well on top of that.
I mean, ultimately, he's been picked up for a reason. He was typically the memed player on Vitality, somewhat harshly sometimes, but usually it's just because he plays.
Number 2, Rocket League shifts its narrative between these matches within the microcosm of one series. And now we're going to see what NIP have been changing. Snaski, their coach, will be in the background, I'm sure. Just tinkering 1 or 2 things after that one, after a bit of a, not a collapse, just being outplayed after scoring the first one. I think Oski is looking most likely for NIP. If they are to win this one, he has to step up even further.
I mean, Oski stepped up massively in their wins previously. Him and Nas, I think we were generally talking, were wonderful players across the board. Nas probably a little bit more so. So I think Nas needs to show maybe a little bit more of the bite that he had in previous series. That's a long shot for him. Seiko is going to be back in time. It's a good idea to go for it though. Just make sure they're itching to get back. If they do push a little bit too far forward, mates.
A clean touch. Nas is waiting underneath it and will be able to hit this one all by himself as well. I wonder if you go for a flip reset. Instead, there's a couple of touches into the Gentlemates corner. And into the Pajamas have started game 2 a little bit better. They seem more in control of the situation, like they're trying to make their statements one after another. However, a pause has been claimed, so there'll be a little bit of a period where players can talk things.
Back in the previous season was when Gentlemates ended up beating Vitality straight away. You know, the former world champions, the reigning world champions at that point, they just came in there like, yeah, we'll just beat you, in the game 7 overtime. We can just do that. So it'd be nice to see, if they're going to have as much of a magical season as they can. Otherwise, our new season's leftovers in NIP, are we going to be able to see something more from them, at least starting in game number 2.
Showman has now begun. We are upon us. And as we saw before the pause, it's the Pajamas that are starting this second game the better still. They seem to have more of the play. Seiko still in that just brilliantly grotesque vehicle. I love it, truly.
Yeah, I love a very loud car as well. I'm a big fan of it. Instead of all these cars trying to look cool, I like a weird car, but Juicy's going to be going up for an air dribble. That goes over 1 and 2. Final man attack, you can tap it out towards Oski. Full boost, booms it instead of keeping it close to him. And that's going to give control straight back over the 200 boosted players. Oski nearly tipping it in from his behind. Can't quite squeak in goal number 1.
Almost a cheeky little doink there, I think. If not a doink, it was sort of a situation where you let the ball hit you, but that's a good clearance from Juicy. Gentlemates just need to clear this ball for now. They have to get something down on the blue side. That one won't be going in. It's going just wide, hitting the post. It's, yeah, done that.
That was Nas's gift on Radosin's birthday to Radosin.
Assuming that Radosin is going to score an own goal the other way. So he's like, look, I'll give you one now. I will assume we'll get it back later. Yeah.
It's an homage. It's an homage to Radosin. And for that, good job, Nas. But that is actually a complete shocker. I think this struggles to realise that there's not that much pressure on him. But ultimately, in that moment, you'll be thinking, oh dear, I need to get that touch on this immediately. Completely misreads. Nas sends his own team behind.
To make amends for his teammate right now. He tries to go through, doesn't even get the flick though. Seiko towards Nas. Oski's there. It's still looking like there's not much in the tank from Ninjas in Pyjamas. And I'll tell you what as well, Stumpy, all the momentum that Nip were building, Gentlemates have just taken it right from them. Oof. And now they can go back to their favourite playstyle historically, and that is score a goal, defend.
Control the 50s game as well. Oski goes up for one, gets it round the side of Juicy, but Radosin's got, you know, enough wherewithal to make sure that he's the next man to it. Itachi can't get the flick off before Seiko makes contact. Nat's then troubled by Seiko as well. Still, Gentlemates completely controlling the narrative of this game.
Gentlemates going for these fakes as well. Really, the team I associate with them too much, but there was an early call there. Radosin, I wonder if he called his teammate off or if he was told to go for it. Either way, just a nice little attempt, showing some creativity despite having the lead. Didn't lead to a goal, but these things all get in your opponent's heads. Seiko collides with Nat. Juicy comes away with it to the ceiling. I wonder if this is the moment he comes alive. He goes to the floor, has a pass to Radosin, and saves his own teammate. It's unfortunate, but you can see it coming.
Yeah, just about manages to keep that one away. And Juicy now goes low with it, forces Oski into a save. Nas very low on boost at the back, does use it wonderfully well. Juicy now moving that final man again. And this narrative, as I said, continues to be pushed by Gentlemates. A great demo from Juicy. Swipes across or removes Itachi on that play. Seiko half boost, can't do too much with it, can't imagine. And Itachi can get a nice interception. But I mean, count how many free touches you see NIP get at any point in this game. They're going to be remarkably low. Oscar now goes for a carry. 1-2, the double tap. As I say that, magnificent from Large Oscar.
There wasn't a free touch. You just saw at the bottom of your screen there was a demo. That opened Gentlemates up. And Oski has got those double tapping capabilities to make the most from it. Gentlemates, they have to stay on this pitch because Ninjas in Pyjamas are fantastic at the bump and demo game. And that might be what Nip have to rely on to get through this series.
There's going to be an opportunity here, though, for Gentlemates to win it in the regulation that I'm sure they were kind of feeling like it was going to be going their way for. Final 40 as Radosin now pushes it towards the opposite side. Oski lets Will roll over his shoulder up to the ceiling now. Sees Itachi on his left, finds Itachi instead, actually finds Seiko. That's now round 1-2. Rado nice and sensibly in the goal, flips nicely to continue on his path towards the ball. Juicy with zero boost, make sure he gets anything. 2 up for it. Juicy's low. Nas, great chance here. Goes to the corner, can't quite make it, come back central. That was the point that NIP could have taken the lead and maybe the game.
Players called each other off the ball. Neither of them went for it. That's what allowed that chance for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Thankfully for Gentlemates, they survived. Oski goes forward though. They might not survive this one. That's the chance to get the angle. But Itachi's too far back, and game 2 has an overtime.
The pass was there. Itachi was not. I mean, maybe he just thought, okay, let's play it safe. We can go for the overtime, depending on what happens. Sometimes you need to take those risks. Juicy now challenging versus Itachi in the corner. Itachi getting around 1 and 2. Seiko up completely on his own on the sidewall until Oski decides a little bit of initiative and works his way in. Juicy can't beat out Nas. Nas now continues with a lot of boost, pushes it down, actually laser touch to make sure that he's the second man to it, pip it over the top. Becomes a lot harder now as I think Gentlemates have realised they're being a little bit silly sometimes on some touches. Nas to the ceiling. Itachi, the one to receive it next. First 30 seconds has actually been a decent amount of NIP pressure, but mostly, you know, secluded the midfield.
Us there towards Juicy from Radosin. He's the player pulling all the strings still, in my opinion. Itachi having a very quiet series. Flicks it forward, trying to play his safety first game up against Radosin. Gets a decent challenge. Almost Gentlemates from last season-esque with that challenge from Itachi that was being followed up, but his teammate was too far back. That's a big one there for Seiko towards Radosin. Gets it to Juicy. Itachi closes this down quick. Oh, and then Itachi keeps on going as well. Itachi from nothing to everything.
I hope that they are all ordering webcams. Show us your faces, players. Come on, get them out there.
Oski's a good boy.
Oski's, it's because he knows that I'd bully him otherwise. All right,
Yeah,
he knows that that'd be coming through. But I mean, look, we're now into game number 3. Server looks pretty decent. Nas looks back on form. Happy days. Let's see if we can close out this series.
Pushing forward. This is how they got their winner in overtime. Itachi with pretty much nothing on in front of him on the floor and just bundling through opponents. Instead this time he takes an early shot. Seiko gets the save. And now it's a question of which of these players and which of these teams can get back into that game mindset the soonest. I've got a feeling, based at looking at them, the Gentlemates have got a chance of that.
I think Gentlemates, to me, I mean, they were ultimately sitting and just talking for a little while, whereas you have to think on the NIP side, they're talking about tech stuff. They're not talking about the game as much. They're trying to figure things out. Nas isn't even in the call for a little while. They've not been able to focus, you know, and use it essentially like a free 5 minutes to talk about their game now that they've got more data to kind of work on. But Juicy takes that first shot over the top of two. Confused-looking NIP players on target again. As obviously can clear it away nice and long. Seiko's back. It's going to count as a shot, but shouldn't really. And Seiko can just get the clear.
See that one? It's going to cannon into the Gentlemates corner, and Radosin takes a relatively clean touch towards that. It does seem to be Ninja the Pajamas who are just beginning to have their say here in this game number 3. The winner of this one will take a huge step towards top 4. The winner of this game and the winner of this series took a huge step towards the Birmingham Major. You have to finish in the top 4 of Europe, so finishing in the top 4 of the first event, can't ask much more than that.
Yeah, finishing in the top 4, you're looking phenomenal when it comes towards the points at the end of the split. And then you also have to think at the end of the season too. Well, you know, worst case, you've got the last chance qualifier, but you do not want to leave it to a last chance qualifier to make the World Championship. And you'd like that major money too.
Try and steal this boost from Seiko. Oski takes the ball. Nas could have doinked it. I'll train you how to do it, lad. I'll train you, because if he doinks that, it stays flat and doesn't hit the crossbar, Stumpy. Why don't they doink?
That genuinely, use that as a case study in the doink classes that you teach at night school. That is the time where you need to just get a little old doink, have it be a little rim skimmer, and otherwise, you know, it's better than flicking, because that added way too much height to it. But NIP seemingly unaffected.
Yeah, no, I mean, there'll be some arguments in chat, I'm sure. They'll be calling out now saying, look, mate, I know it's your birthday, but just doink the ball, pal.
Just
all right, don't dodge at that situation. But it's all right. Hey, he's a good player. We'll forgive him. Oski with the musty flick. Wants to get the dunk after. Nearly there. It actually has Oski underneath the ball. I thought Oski would go for the little double jump doink for a second. It seems to be a real, a real opportunity here for Ninja the Pajamas.
Seiko attempted to go central with it. Does get it around the side of Itachi. Oski up for that double, but it bounces awkwardly high for him. Game staying still incredibly even. 0-0 as 3 minutes has now elapsed. Seiko from the backboard. Up for a reset. Does get it, but nothing really to come from it. Radosin playing very aggressively. Gets that demo on Itachi. Chris now going to try and go for that second touch. Central for him, and Juicy's the only man to it.
He takes a couple of touches in the corner. This is really good, dangerous work from Juicy here. Anytime there's a chance for him to go solo, I just wonder if that is the moment for Juicy to step forth. But instead it's Nas. He comes out the other side. Seiko should be able to get this one cleanly to the side. Might win this next touch as well. Dunks on Oski. Itachi's all by himself. Quick spin. He keeps composure. That's what you get from Itachi.
I mean, this very strong, aggressive play from Radosin. Another bump, another demo. Trying to make sure that his physicality is respected in this lobby. Seiko thinking Nas may be jumping for that one, which is exactly what Nas wanted. He had 0 boost, just had to posture to look like he was going, and that's given NIP this entire push so far. Itachi to the backboard, double unsuccessful, but still all that pressure from that single minuscule little movement from Nas.
Center, they want to make this boost advantage count. Do Ninja in Pajamas, the flip reset almost underneath Radosin. It's Morgan pathetic from now, been very impressed with Radosin today.
Yes, very.
I think he's having a stormer of a series up to this point, both in attack with that opening game in particular, but also defensive blocks. But he can't block this one. Oski is incredibly deft.
That's what you gotta do. He starts throwing out a boost here over Radosin, and he just has to lean back, doesn't go with the dunk with Juicy, and with 0, forces it home. Brilliant play, turns it back around, slows himself down, secures that lead for NIP as we enter the final 43.
Oh, mates, now they really will have to go all out. Itachi's already up against Seiko. Seiko gets it over the top of Itachi. That's okay. You just don't want it to go underneath you. That's when there's real danger. Juicy, couple of touches past Oski. Radosin gets the bump. Seiko's got a chance made, but the angle is just too much. So Gentlemate's going to have to keep this attack going one way or another.
And it's helped on towards the back. Juicy's actually going to really appreciate that. Gets it towards him, a pinch from the ceiling, and he finds Nas in the midfield. Final 15, Oski 100 boost, flicks it high and away from his own control. Now let's try and get a touch from Seiko. Seiko instead stands long. Attach it up with one touch onto the reset, back down central. Radosin trying to find Seiko again, but we're seeing a lot more attack through from NIP. Juicy, central with it. Seiko's there. Double commit onto that defense, but with only one player to it. It's going to be Nas. Juicy can keep it up. Seiko central. Itachi up one again. Got a reset, is going to let it drop. NIP, well managed at the end, well doinked on offense, and well won by the Ninjas.
Huge advantage as both teams look to break into the all-important top 4.
Here in the Coliseum, only one is going to be walking away with the game win. We could be seeing a level series. We could be seeing NIP going on to that series point on the cusp of top 4. 5 minutes later, we're going to be finding out what the answer is.
Juicy up against Oski. Oski
very polite.
Allowed all 3 teammates. That was very British of everyone. After you, no, sir. After you. One of those things that's funny when you're walking, less funny in a car, when it's like who's going, who's not for some reason. Nas up against Juicy. Itachi's going to turn onto this one. Won't be able to get it. Hoped the boost would spawn. That was a couple of seconds out with his inbuilt metronome. So Juicy's able to take that 100 instead. Now Radosin clears a path for Juicy. This is the real way. The Gentleman's caused some damage this season. Almost brilliant. Still could be. Radosin with a flip reset. What a goal this would be. Saved again by Nas. Juicy's turn once again. The double. Almost does. Itachi makes an error. And Oski helps him out. It was chaotic, but it wasn't shambolic.
I mean, NIP there, they're wearing out their jump buttons. They're making sure that everything that they do is only for the effort of clearing up that ball. Oski now wanting to return the favor down the other end. Tachi getting that 50 with Juicy. Juicy getting the better of him, but Oski going via the midfield boost. One reset onto the second one. Radosin 2 first the man out the sky.
Tachi's going to have a chance to take this one for himself. Got half attack to play with. Juicy up against him. Itachi just gets it towards Seiko. And now Seiko can have a turn. It's looking more solo play-centric, this one. So it's going to be who is the first player to unlock the rest of them. Juicy's touch is wayward, so it heads towards Itachi. Into the Pajamas really trying to slow it down. Gentlemate's trying to speed it up as a 3. I'd say they're the ones who are mounting more pressure. Seiko puts it onto the back wall for Juicy. Nas has to wrap around and clear that ball, but Gentlemate's looking much more likely.
It's great positioning from Nas there, though, making sure that he can be the one. But the 1, 2, 3 goes bottom corner. Nas again a touch away. Juicy shooting top corner. The pressure has been immense on the side of NIP, and they managed to keep every single shot out so far. 6 shots going their way and 0 going towards the orange side.
He'd have lost that 50-50 to Nas. The ball was going to trickle over him into the orange net. Radosin once again stood firm defensively. He'll have to do some more defending here. Juicy, one touch, follows it up against Oski, who's had a quiet series, I would say, but some big goals within it, if that makes sense. As Nas and Juicy combine.
Moments, I suppose. So I'd agree with you. I agree. Because he obviously had that goal in the last game that was wonderful. Won NIP the game itself. Gave him the lead. Apart from that, yeah, I've not seen as much from him as we have done in previous matches. Seiko sent the ball a little bit too far away of Juicy, but Radosin's going to be positioned somewhat further out to take advantage of it. Nas with a huge clear. Defensively, Nas has also gone straight to the backboard. So far, nothing for Gentlemates really working out from that position. It's all down to Nas' positioning. Itachi, though, with a backflip is going to open things up somewhat for everybody on Mates to make an attack.
To confuse Seiko, but Seiko knew where his reverse button was and was able to hit it in time. Around the corner, Oski tries to just launch something forward into the orange half of the pitch. Nas versus Seiko. Nas does have 100 this time. He's from the side wall. This is where, if they're playing this more defensive game, Into the Pajamas have to make it count. It's Oski, he shoots, but Seiko gets the save. It's
a lovely save too from Seiko, making sure that he positions on the backboard. Trying to be the Nas of his team, being as awkward as he can for the NIP attack. That's been their second shot on the side of NIP as well. 100 seconds and still drawn completely level. Taking a lot of notes from the previous game rather than game number 1.
It's looking like an anomaly at this point. But Gentlemates, they do get their one real chance. Juicy makes it stick.
I mean, I think that was their real chance number 19, if you're going by all of the attacks that happened previously. And Oski manages to just fling his way past it a little bit too much. Has to take a gamble that Juicy goes towards one of the corners. Instead, Juicy very cleverly shoots it back behind Oski. No touch made. The lead for the Mates.
Looking like it's going the distance. Takes one step further forward in that direction as Gentlemates have the lead in game 4. Do they push? Or do they defend? Juicy keeps it going, wants to get the bump on Oski, almost does. Radosin from the side. Seiko had the same idea. There was a bit of danger there for a second. The ball remains neutral in the center. Now it's Seiko's. Wants to get the double tap. Very Oski-esque, that just light double tap attempt. Didn't quite work for them there. Radosin with the flip reset up against Oski. Nip defending okay, but they need to do more, Stumpy.
so much pressure that they're just playing keep away. Juicy using a lot of boost there, but very intelligently to make sure that that ball stays as close to him as he can. Radosin sends it right back down the pitch. Nas now to receive, and Oski going for a couple of these demos and bumps that have been going on their side. There's Nas. Going for one, gets rid of Juicy. It's actually low on boost, can't get where he wants it. And a demo, if Juicy's not there, that one flies straight in. Instead, unfortunately, then it is. Oski up for one, the double tap. Radosin backboard can clear it away.
Mass. She can only get as far as Juicy. One more goal here for Gentlemates would kill this one. Oski is bypassed by Juicy. Mass takes the touch. It has to be now. The touch is heavy, though. Oh. Radosin says thank you very much. Ninja in pajamas. It has to be so much better.
I mean, try and battle against any of this offense that Gentlemate's currently putting on. This is almost impossible. Oski beats two, but the third head of the Hydra can clip it away. It just seems to be a little bit more of a swing. When Gentlemates win a game, it feels a bit more convincing at the moment.
Edge themselves towards series points. Gentlemates on Ninjas in pajamas. In current form, Gentlemates looking just a teensy bit better, and already they're forcing Itachi into a goal line save. Nas has nothing, he's just nudged out the way, so Radosin, he can go to the sky. Seiko's beneath him. This is what Gentlemates have been doing this whole time, following each other up, as we'd expect from these guys, though Juicy did not expect that double tap from Seiko.
He wanted it, didn't he?
I'll stay down then.
Yeah, he went in for it. It's when your teammate gets an awkward one in rank, and you're like, all right, fine, I need to head back, otherwise we just lose here, I suppose.
Not the read. Like, I told you I could read that ball, even if it's not helpful.
Now this right-hand side, from this perspective, is going to be pushed by Nas. Tachi battling versus Seiko. Does manage to get to the ball first, but uses a lot of boost and get through to that second one. Oski on target. Actually, Radosin has to flick, then get it back down low below him. Tachi up high, and Seiko straight to the backboard again. The backboard has not been the place for too many of these goals so far. Obviously, that one Oski goal was the real big standout. But otherwise, it's been very well covered from both teams.
Juicy there, he was already up when Juicy had his little slowdown, but now it's Seiko's turn. Oh, he's prodded it behind the goal. Itachi is doing all he can for Ninjas in pajamas, who are really struggling with the attacking prowess right now of Gentlemates. Putting forward one bullet after another. Eventually one's going to land. This time it's Radosin's turn. Seiko in the center. Can Radosin find him? Does he need to? Yes, he can. It must be 1-0. It is. Gentlemates with another lead.
A complete Radosin outplay on this right-hand side too. He knows Tachi has to go for that boost. He forces both of them to jump from the amount of time that he takes with it, and then as soon as they leave the ground, that's then when he strikes. Seiko is there for the follow. A dominant play from Rado and Seiko to give Gentlemates the lead.
Win there, so Juicy can take 100 boost and he can have at least a bite of the ball. Seiko follows up. Chance for Radosin to make it 2. Ninjas in pajamas. This is not the version of Nip that we were expecting. Whether or not they're winning, they're barely laying a glove, Stumpy.
I mean, in this game, yeah, I think in the series it becomes a little bit harder to like sort of say that they're not competing at the same level. But I mean, in the last 2 games, it has been, yeah, it's been disparate. It has been 2 different teams currently fighting.
What they can do about it, they've certainly got the firepower. All they need is the spark. Itachi tries to make it happen, follows it up against Juicy. He was the player who won that overtime, and he wants to follow this one up as well. Seiko beat him to the ball. Nas takes his time, still seeing how much he has. Perfect first touch into the air dribble. Radosin prods it past Oski. And I'd say that they need the big pole right now to get something going. Maybe it's a pass in the middle. Nas is there as the crossbar. Itachi up against Seiko. Juicy gets the save. Nas's turn now into the ceiling, but Juicy swats it away. And another Nip opportunity goes begging.
But it's their turn. Look at the amount of offense they've got. It continues. All 3 diving over towards that ball again. This is what they've been subjected to. They will now want to return the favor. Seiko pushes it past. A combined total of about 15 boost on Gentlemates for a little while there. Now Juicy can force their way out. Oski's up for the pre-jump. Can they make this work into something? The 1-2, the bomb is unsuccessful on Seiko. It's a big dive in from Itachi, but the trust is there as Nas can slow it down. Now go for 1. Tends to get the floor pinch, unable to. Bumps Juicy out the way of that net. And he gets pinched right back the other side. I sense the tempo changing. That's me just wide of target. Rado ends up missing that one. It's a bit
oh my goodness.
Pinball. The defense somewhat scrappy for Gentlemates. They've been pushed back into it, but it does hold on. The 1-2-3, the pincer attack, and Oski can clear away.
Moments there for Gentlemates, but they survive for now. Oski tries to chase that. He's wide this time. Itachi races against Juicy. Juicy doesn't let him in. Nash should be able to win this one against Seiko, but no. Seiko's read was too pure and too good. Oski from his own back wall Gets the flip reset, keeps it going, wants to dunk on Juicy and does. Is anybody following up for him? Not this time.
Minute 15 now. Radosin wants to try and get this one central. Maybe called off it. Maybe Juicy just reads it. It's a little bit awkward for him. NIP are going to be, I think, a bit frustrated that they couldn't score any of those chances that they had as soon as they get that combined pressure. But we've seen otherwise, NIP, they've been able to hold out against that pressure as well until that one final striking moment. And I think it's those infield passes that have been bigger. You know, those have been the moments. Seiko now up for one. It's a 1v1 versus Oski. A reset becomes unpredictable, gets it over the top. The brilliance from the former world champion reigns over Oski.
Time slows down when Seiko gets the chance like that. Oski had barely anything in the tank to work with. He was left all alone, but double commit from his teammates who were both beaten to the ball. The fake kickoff though might be worth something here for Ninja in the Pajamas. If Nas can fit this one in, they've got a chance. Juicy helps him out, and it is 2-1.
That's that returned own goal from earlier. Nas this time manages to get the shot off. Scores the own goal himself, gets that pass central. Juicy's on his way back, tries to punt it straight into the post. Unfortunately, reactions weren't quite there. Literally out by less than 0.1 of a second. It's a brutal game, and that's NIP with a great lead, all from that fake kickoff.
As now gentle mates. The pressure goes back to you guys. Oski should be able to get this ball under his control. He does. It's a bit central, though. I'm not sure he can do too much with this. So he tries to go for the bump on Juicy. That allows in Nas. Nas is Radosin already pre-jumping. There's a flip reset pass to Itachi. Juicy's defending in this game has been stunning. Not just the saves, but the decision-making. That demo was up there.
I mean, it's Nas then going for a chance. Rado nearly pinched it in top right below the crossbar. Tatch has to get a touch. It's going to be awkward for him. Nas the one to follow up, but all these vital seconds now ticking down. Rado's going to want to challenge that as soon as he can. Does so. Oski round 1, 2. A bump attempt. Nas wants to go for it. Does get it. And there manages to squeak it out. But otherwise, Gentlemates, a single win. And they go through to face off in the semi-finals versus Carmine Corp. All here to do on Neo Tokyo.
Wow. It's going to be a good one. I've got a feeling. Let's see if that's how it pans out. Juicy up against Oski straight away, and it's going to be the team in blue that I feel are going to be trying to ask all the questions. Gentlemates, can they survive a potential nip barrage? So far, so good. 15 seconds in. There's going to be a chance for Nas, saved by Radosin.
On target, there's a straight shot. I like the idea. Again, you try and pepper the net as much as you can. You do, shockingly, in this lobby, you don't need to be too fancy. Seiko's going to be proving me probably completely wrong here. Tries to go for that touch infield. Isn't able to. Oski whipping the ball away from Radosin's control. He's picking up that back corner 100. And then whip himself straight back out into the midfield. Lovely play from him. Back down towards Seiko. The MVP so far from Gentlemates for me in this series.
Yeah, not just based on that last game. He's been solid and fluent throughout. It started off Radosin for Gentlemates, but since then, Seiko has usurped him. Here comes Juicy to the third. Mate, up against Itachi. That one's going to bounce into the center. Is anyone there in orange? It's going to be a real chance here, depending on the bounce. Itachi had to just boing off the floor in order to get something on it. The play continues. Itachi getting all he can just to push that ball sideways. Good play from Gentlemates.
It's another threatening infield play too. Clearly Gentlemates reading from the same hymn sheet that I was, managed to get a little bit of a sneak peek from. Going for those passes midfield, they're going to be a little bit better than just going for a little solo yourself. Juicy though and Radosin getting somewhat tangled up. All three players in the back third right now. And Juicy doesn't even think to return back. Manages to get the reset over the top, can set up his teammate. Saved away, an incredible save from Nas at the death.
Block there at the near post from Nas. He saw what Gentlemates were trying to do and was able to conjure up the answer from somewhere. Radosin, though, good first touch. Itachi gets in there ahead of him. Itachi tries to push this one goalwards. It's all a bit frantic at the moment. Neither team in full control of it. That block from Oski might change that. Steals the 100 as well. Chance for Nas. Saved by Seiko. The man cannot be breached as he adds another big save to the pile.
It's a brick wall from Seiko time and time again with Juicy now challenging. Trying to keep this pressure now going the other side. Oski, wonderful 50. Musty towards net. Juicy can't quite rush back in time, so Radosin's going to be taking over the defensive duties. Seiko up with 50. You can see him eyeing the reset. Gets the reset. Actually fakes out, then goes low with it. Gives Juicy a chance to come in. Actually on the back wall. Half boost. This game going pretty much identically to how the last one did.
0-0 going late into it, but it's a different sort of 0-0. This isn't two teams playing defensive Rocket League first. They're both going for it. It's just a respective defenses are so good that they're getting those blocks. Itachi blocks yet another one from Radosin. Juicy on the sidewall, wants to get past Oski and almost does. Radosin may turn instead. He realizes that Nas is going to win this ball. Nas gets it past Radosin. Radosin blocks as much of the goal line as he could, and then Juicy finishes the job of the clearance.
It was
Both
intelligent
teams
play
all out.
From Nas as well, because he has no boost, and then sees, like, I can't get mid-boost, so I'm not even going to try it, because then now I lose mid-boost and the ball. He then just cuts it in field and makes it a bit more threatening. Great low boost plays, and that's what you get being like a 1v1 player as well. You know those kind of situations. Nas flicking high, right above the crossbar. Juice is going to be making contact. Itachi flies in and gets a touch backwards as well. What? I'm sorry, Itachi. The Moroccan magician strikes again.
Oh, on earth has Itachi just done that? A goal out of less than nothing. He was a spectator, and suddenly he was a spectre. Incredible stuff.
90 seconds, and gentlemates, you need to try and challenge against that, apparently, that comes from pretty much nowhere. That was Itachi's first shot on target as well, the fourth for NIP. And now Nas, well, is he going to be able to see what Itachi's done and do something a little bit better?
I'm incredulous. I need to get over it because there's more Rocket League to play, but I cannot wait to watch that one back. Anyway, here's Seiko gets a quick reset of his own, almost over Oski. Juicy's coming in now. His gentlemates, they get the response. It's 1-1.
Sometimes this tapping at home is going to be just as effective. Juicy, great positioning from him. Helped on by Oski inadvertently. Itachi then sees it going towards the corner. Maybe thinking that Nas is going to be making contact. Instead, Juicy, they want to nip in 1-1, 1 minute 10, all to play for.
This series, we knew it would. Itachi clears it towards Oski. Seiko's there. Oski's underneath it. Wants to get the next touch. He does. Onto the backboard. Nas up against Juicy. Big clearance. Have they overcommitted right now? Ninjas in pajamas? Not quite. Itachi was back. Hope the boost would spawn, but it didn't. So he just has to catch and flick. And Seiko can get it away. Next goal, I've got a feeling, is going to take this one. Nas almost makes it happen.
Almost a chance for that one now going midfield. Oski on target. Pretty routine save for Seiko and the lads. On target again, opposite corner. Nas swiping through the entire net, securing the second for the Ninjas.
Another goal, and it's Nas this time. Past all three of them. Not much of that goal was on show, and Nas somehow threaded that needle to give Ninjas in Pajamas an all-important lead.
You said you thought that that might be the one that's going to be deciding this game. Let's see if gentlemates agree. That for one is Juicy. The second, the bump comes through as well. It's a misplay from Itachi. Oski then taps it in instead. Juicy, again, a single solo play.
Hey, Juicy, I love to be proven wrong, especially with goals like that. Oski was agonizingly close. He almost recovered in time to get it down. Got a chunk of it. 4 goals in the last 60 seconds or so. Let's keep this going, lads.
And you know what? After those goals coming out from NIP as well, it just must be a little bit frustrating. Just seeing, like, okay, a tap goes in. Oh, all right, a bump goes in. A little bit of a defensive error. But a good play from Juicy overall. Lovely reset. Chance from Seiko. Juicy now up for 1. With Nas challenging in that back corner. And overtime in 10 seconds if nothing else changes.
Sin. Can a hero step up before overtime? Seiko gets it into the center. Itachi is challenging towards Nas. Perfect first touch, of course. Then gets the second. Flicks it above almost his opponent. But instead it's overtime. Who takes it?
One more goal for gentlemates. Welcome to the semi-finals. There's one more goal for NIP. Welcome to game number 7. Touchdown from 1. Oski now low boost. Has a challenge versus 100 boost for Radosin. That one's central. Oski now going for the bump too. Near target. Seiko rushed it in. Seiko misses, but Nas has to read his touch instead and misses the ball himself.
In the end, who got that all-important touch. Oski gets the dunk on Seiko. Nas has a chance. Has a crossbar. And Oski's going to have to try and keep control.
More agony again. Oski sending it high towards Nas. Nas maybe returning the favour out towards Oski. Only 3 boosts though. Makes a touch round, but Radosin pretty routinely can get that clear away. Oski also had the boost stolen away from him in that back corner. It's Nas now challenges. Itachi is central. Nas is there on target. Post and in. Ladies and gentlemen, game 7 in Europe's opener.
Anyone upset about that? Anyone upset that we're going to a game 7? With regards to who will make the Birmingham Major.
Birmingham, Alabama. Oh, no, Birmingham, England.
Good joke.
Actually. Thank you. Yeah, just down the road. But it is going to be Champions Field to make sure that that sees us away for our first series of the day. Yesterday, we had nothing more than a game 5. Today, we're already at 7. You've got to love the Sundays.
Seiko up against Nas, early doors. The first goal, I would say, until the last one could be crucial. It's been a tight old series, but the doors just seem to blow off in the last one, so maybe we will have that 4-4, 5-5 game that I've been craving from Ninjas in Pajamas.
A big win, a huge win. Doesn't even kiss the ceiling on that one. Radosin, and you send it back over towards Nas, who booms it straight goalward again. Oski attempts to take this on central. Itachi waits to see what's going to be happening. 1-2, the dunk as well comes through. Itachi on target. Oski does a lot of the legwork. Itachi toe punts it home. It's 1-0 to the Ninjas.
Hammers have a foot forwards. That is beautiful play from Oski. He got bumped out of the way for his work, but only after a flip reset and a dunk. And the finish wasn't too bad either from Itachi, who seems to be reborn in these last couple of games. He gets the flick as well.
But again,
it's 2-0 win for Itachi.
Immediately off the kickoff as well. Another clever kickoff. I love that one. They've done that like 3 times and scored 2 of them. It was Nas ends up driving into the board instead of Itachi. Itachi completely forgoes the ball. It then gets one out towards Itachi, takes the touch, the immediate tap and smash, and they've done it again. Nas has now got control of the ball. They are running the tempo of this game.
Times, say gentlemates, shame on me. We are still very much in the shame on you knit phase. As another shot comes in from Itachi. The man's got a hat trick on his mind, but he won't care too much because his Moroccan brother pushes it straight in.
This already being the highest scoring game for NIP joint-wise. Last time they had 3 after that overtime. They've got 3 in a minute on Champions Field. It is uphill work for gentlemates.
The good news for gentlemates, though, is that those 3 goals have indeed come so quickly. There is a magnificent amount of match still to come. 4 minutes, 3 goals, very, very doable. I don't even need to change their play style.
I was going to say, we literally saw NIP win after being 3 goals behind yesterday versus GK. Like, we've seen this weekend that 3 goals is not an infallible number of goals. There is chances here for them. But gentlemates, this hasn't happened in any other game. How will they react to this scenario?
They've at least got some control on the ball. They've survived these devastating Ninjas in Pajamas kickoffs. As Juicy forces that one into the center, a goal for gentlemates. Will make things very interesting if they get the next minute or so. But another one for Itachi very well could be the final nail in the coffin. Oski, he hasn't had to do too much in this game so far, apart from that assist. Itachi and Radosin. Itachi's trying to get as much on Radosin as possible. Nas, huge charge down. This could be Itachi's moment. Oh, it's almost own goal. I think it was Seiko.
It was.
Own goal, 2 goals.
Wonderful save from Seiko in the end. Otherwise, somebody else gets it. You have to make the contact. Great play overall. Oscar now sending it back towards Itachi. They are playing like their legs are on fire.
A touch past Seiko. Gonna get it past him again, nearly. And then Radosin charges forward. It must be 3-1 as a race. Radosin gets his goal. We're not even halfway through. Gentlemates are far from down and out.
Looking like maybe NIP had a little bit too much excitement. They were pushing too far up, and Radosin and Seiko managed to identify that in its entirety. They've cut the lead down to just 2, and that may well be just a little bit of a damper on NIP that they need to win this series, or it could be the start of the resurgence for the mates in 7.
Have to continue to play this game exactly the way they were playing it at the start. Another chance! Huge redirect from Seiko. It hits the crossbar, and somehow Nas doesn't score an own goal.
An unreal shot from Seiko. Receiving one. That one down again. Juicy on target.
Goodness.
The return for gentlemates has well and truly begun.
Legs are on fire, Stumpy. I don't even know if that's bad or good, but apparently everyone's equal. 1 goal now, the difference. And suddenly this is a normal game of Rocket League. Gentlemates just have to chill. They've got 2 minutes and 17 seconds, 1 goal. That's just average. That's just normal. Juicy might have a chance to get it straight away from the kickoff.
I mean, so far now, again, the highest scoring game in the series, joined at 5 goals. Game 1 and Game 6 in that realm with them. Seiko now going for one little challenge. Gets it out. Radosin wants to challenge with that one. But Oski has a bit more boost. Can now try and squeak that corner boost too. Instead, Juicy nips in front of him. Juicy to the ceiling. Gets another one. And then Nas working his way through. Gentlemates, they have absolutely put the fear of God in NIP. But Nas works around all of them. and they reveal themselves to the 4th goal.
The King has no fear of God. He follows it up. He gets his hat-trick as well. And suddenly, Ninja in Pajamas look that little bit more comfortable once again. It's a straight shootout, this one. You rarely see that in a Game 7. How many more are we gonna be able to witness? Oski tries to get the dunk on Seiko. Nas to the corner. This could be beautiful, but he couldn't quite get the next touch. It turns into a decent passage of play, though, for Ninja in Pajamas, till Seiko clears long.
Oski wanted to pass that back down too, but attaching it up for 1, 2, the second, and the third. Oski back central. He takes the straight shot onto Radosin, right on the goal line, and Radosin then clears. Radosin has been great in this Game 5. He's just not quite been able to get the ball in positions that he needs them to be in, apart from that goal that they managed to secure. Still that too, one central Itachi. A little bit too many beans on that for Nas. Those rockets straight past him and bumped off the ball by Radosin. We get 1 minute remaining and Gentlemates on the cusp. They need to chase 2 goals.
Is time for Gentlemate to leave it all on the field. Radosin tries to get it around the corner with some pace. Unable to. Juicy trusts his catch. Couple of touches into the edgeable bump. Takes out one of them. Seiko Vinas is going wide. Radosin up against Itachi. It bounces. Oh, another Ninja in Pajamas player. Somehow the ball remains out.
The perfect positioning from that final defender as well. Manages to get just something on it to clear away from the goal. But mates continue their push.
Radosin behind him. Juicy waiting in the center. Itachi has to get this read. He does! Only as far as Juicy. This game's ridiculous, Stumpy.
Squeezing it in that near corner as well. Goes by the path of least resistance. Itachi, it's a touch out straight towards an unbelievably aggressively positioned player. 30 seconds, 1 goal, mates to do it all.
And flows to the top 4, do not forget. As Radosin gets another shot on target, it's a weak one, but it will just begin to spread this defense from Ninja in Pajamas. Juicy has to take out his attacker. Oski, though, has a clear touch. Nas up ahead of him. One more from Ninja in Pajamas will kill it. Seiko has an opportunity against Oski. All he can do is play it neutral.
Shut down in that midfield, the final 5 seconds. Radosin, final chance. Itachi can manage to clear it away. The 1-2 and the third lands on the floor. NIP secure their place in the top 4, and in what fashion they managed to do it as well.
Shattered, Stumpy. That was the first series of the day. Ninjas in Pajamas take it. A hat-trick for Itachi in the final one, and disappointment for Gentlemates. They'll be back in the second open.